Welcome to Sisters Inc., our podcast for and about women business owners, brought to you by Black Enterprise. I'm your host, Alisa Gumbs. Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the country. And on each episode of Sisters Inc., we'll sit down with one successful CEO who will share how she slayed the challenges of being a Black woman in business. Today's episode is all about taking the heat and being resilient in business. We're chatting with Chef Erica Barrett, the founder of Southern Culture Foods, who survived a Shark Tank plot twist and $500,000 in debt and still cooked up a recipe for success. Welcome to Sisters Inc., Erica, and thanks so much for sitting down with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So I want to start with your transition to being an entrepreneur because you started out as someone with a corporate job.
Absolutely.
And a passion for cooking.
Absolutely.
How'd you get from there to there?
I started out my corporate career with Target Corporation out of college. Great experience for me, but wanted to do something different. Retail is really, really tough. Target is a great company, but it just wasn't for me. So I decided to move into human resources. Well, not necessarily decided. Someone offered me a job and offered to teach me everything that I needed to know about HR. And that was a work from home gig. So it allowed me kind of like the freedom to be creative and also make my own schedule. So it's almost like this divine transition, so to speak. But during that time, I still, great job, great salary, still had that place of unhappiness. But I loved cooking, and that's where I kind of like laid all of my burdens down, so to speak, in the kitchen. So I started catering on the side, asking my friends, hey, would you pay for me if I, started a catering company? They're like, oh, yeah, girl. I was like, well, when I start this company, you guys better, really support me. And it took off. Crazy. And I was just like, wow, I should really take this cooking thing seriously. And then I started to do more cooking contests. Did one with the Food Network and Lee and Perrins and won that contest. Wow. I said, okay, well, I thought that I can cook. Well, people are willing to, they think that I can cook as well. So the catering allowed me to transition. And then during that time where I was working from home, I came up with this idea to start a pancake company, which I inevitably called Southern Culture. And I was making enough money where I felt like I could justify, I have a substantial amount of revenue coming in. I need to focus completely on Southern Culture. And I was able to make that leap. And that was probably, I think Southern Culture was about a year and a half old when I said, okay, I'm gone. But I feel like, how do you make that transition? You just know. It's like this gut feeling. You're just like, it's time to leave. When I can no longer bear, this corporate job and manage what I have going on. And it's time to leave and you feel like you can support yourself. So that's what I did.
So about a year into the business, you went on Shark Tank. Mm-hmm. And you walked off the set with a deal. Mm-hmm. But that was not the end of the story. Mm-hmm. What happened?
So went on Shark Tank. Well, first of all, I applied 2 months into my business for season 4 of Shark Tank. They told me that they loved my personality, but I needed to get more sales. So for that reason, I didn't make it on season 4. So I applied for season 5. I'm just like, you guys are going to put me on this show. And you have to be that determined with things and very persistent and to really kind of get on a show like that. What does statistics say? It's like, it's easier to get into Harvard than on Shark Tank. That's how many people apply. But went on the show and got an offer from Kevin O'Leary and Barbara Corcoran. Felt great about it, and she offered me $100,000 in exchange for 40%. What people don't know is, television, a lot of it is very scripted, and then there's also a due diligence process after that. So for me on the show, at the time, when I presented in the Shark Tank, I had a deal on the table with Target and a deal on the table with Safeway, but I hadn't received purchase orders yet. So once I went through the due diligence period, sent all the paperwork to Barbara, her team came back and said, well, we really want to see, you get the deal with Target and Safeway. We want to see actual purchase orders. That took another year. By that time, I was in a better position and didn't really need the money. Right, I'm just like, well, I got the deal on my own. I don't really, need to move forward with this. So we mutually decided, because I did talk to her team, and that it was just, it wasn't a good move for her team. I didn't really need the capital, had another investor that was on the table, so I didn't move forward. But let me tell you something about Shark Tank, the power of Shark Tank. I still make money from that show. Every time it airs, we are selling, sales go up. So amazing opportunity. And I would tell anyone that, that wants to go on that show, don't think twice about it. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
That also wasn't the end of reality TV for you, because 4 years after Shark Tank, you were on The Profit.
Yes.
What was the state of your business when you went on that show, and what did you get out of it?
Oh, man. When I applied for The Profit, I was going through a very tough time in my business. Keeping up with purchase orders, grocery stores, trying to finance things, not really having the right sales team, the right staff in-house, paying payroll, $30,000 a month, but they're not meeting their sales goals. And then, with grocery stores, if you're off by one SKU, if it's on the left-hand side of the box versus the right, they're taking money out. So, you're financing these orders, but you get your check and it's $5,000 short or it's $10,000 short. That happens a few times from not having the right team in place, not paying attention to detail. You start having to pay for that. And that's literally what happened to Southern Culture. So I look up, and I'm like close to $500,000 in debt. And then to even get there, I had all of these alternative loans and things like that. It was just terrible. So Marcus came along, loved what I had going on with the brand, and we taped The Profit. Great experience. Marcus taught me a lot about going to co-packers, creating a better relationship with money. But he also made some mistakes as well. We worked together 8 months after the show. Wow. And he made me a deal on the show. I didn't really like the deal, but I wanted to work with Marcus because I thought that he was a smart guy. When we got the contracts, it was a licensing deal. For 1%, I would get 1% royalty, and he would own Southern Culture in perpetuity, the brand. And I had to walk away from it. It just wasn't. It didn't make good business sense. Right. I think that Marcus is smart. His team is very smart. I think we all learned a lot from each other. But I just said, man, on every $1 million, I would only make $10,000.
On your own brand?
On my own brand. I might as well go apply for food stamps. It's just like writing a ticket to poverty. So it just didn't work for me. And I decided to kind of keep trucking with Southern Culture. I had kind of let catering go because that was one of the things that Marcus wanted me to do. So I picked back up catering. Just recently finished a huge deal with MTV.
Before we get into the things that you're doing now, we're going to take a quick break to adjust our crowns here. Okay. And we'll be right back.
Okay.
Celebrate the excellence in Black men at Black Enterprise Black Men Excel Summit. Meet our country's best and brightest Black men who are redefining their image.
We need to make sure that the world knows that we are here and that we are doing our business, so let us salute ourselves for that.
It's time for people to see that Black men are doing great things and doing it positively.
By doing this Excel Summit, it empowers us, it inspires us to be more creative and to do things that we haven't necessarily or traditionally done.
I met some great people here that I plan to do business with in the future, and I plan to learn from.
This was an eye-opening experience.
For more information, log on to blackenterprise.com/BMX.
Welcome back to the SistersInc podcast. We're chatting with Erica Barrett. So before we broke, you were telling us that when you went on The Profit, you were $500,000 in debt. Mm-hmm. That is a mountain that many entrepreneurs do not come back from.
Oh, no. Yeah.
How did you manage your way out of that?
To be honest with you, I kind of don't know. I really have to give God a lot of credit. But a few things took place. One, I made a conscious decision to get out of it and not close my business and not, go bankrupt. I knew that I had a big brand. So I started to do some of the things. It started on The Profit, though. We started to make some calls to creditors and negotiate and cut that debt and, and pay 25% of some of those balances. So half of that was knocked off. We paid off maybe $150,000 before that episode actually aired. Wow. So we knocked a lot out on the show, and he really taught me, Erica, you can call these people and say, you know what? I know I owe you $50,000, but I'll give you 10 right now to wipe it away. Because they'd already sold off the debt. to a credit collection company. So they paid pennies on the dollar for it. I didn't even realize this stuff. So I'm just like negotiating and slaying stuff. And then with everybody else that, that I owed, I asked for payment plans and things like that. Got back into catering. The markup on catering is high. Labor is low. You really can kind of calculate your costs a little bit. So over the past year and a half, I've really spent time just getting out of all of that. Focusing on sales, and just getting like bigger catering gigs and really just kind of operating very lean. So going to a co-packer allowed me to really, close down my plant and really have to only take care of me and my administrative staff, which is like my assistant. I have my accountant, attorney, and I also got sales brokers. So I had sales all in-house, paying everybody, a minimum of $50,000, $60,000 a year. Well, now I have a broker group that handles everything, and I pay them $1,000 a month.
Wow.
So I'm like, I cut.
Cost cutting.
So I learned how to operate lean, and you know what? I got my life back. I lost 30 pounds in addition to doing that. And so getting rid of all of that.
The debt, you lost the weight.
Slashed everything. But you know what it's done for me? I'm really thankful for that experience. Now, it's so crazy. You go through those tough times in your business. I feel like there's nothing that can break me. If you can dig yourself out of something that seems so insurmountable, and I'm very wise when it comes to money. I scrutinize every dollar. I question every expense. Where I wasn't doing that, I was like, oh, it's okay. I was just very relaxed. But when you learn to respect your money that you're making, you get a chance to really see the profits and enjoy it. And that's the best way to run a business.
So now that you're on the other side of it, what advice would you give to other entrepreneurs who are going through a difficult time?
If you're going through a difficult time, there's always a way out. I think we read these articles, are you in debt? Maybe you should take on another loan, or you should hire this company to help you, get out of debt. You don't have to do that. Don't panic. Don't file for bankruptcy. I am not a fan of, bankruptcy or shutting your doors. If you feel like you have something that, a winning formula, and you have a proven concept, if you have customers and you have income, you can dig your way out of a tough situation. And if a lot of people struggle with sales, and they're just like, I just wish I could have more sales. Look, selling is the easy part, We have the internet, we have Instagram, we have social media, we have so many different forms and ways to kind of get the word out about our brand. You have to fully exhaust all of those efforts. I think a lot of people miss the mark with that. Mm-hmm. They get relaxed in that every day, door to door, or I need to find a salesperson. You don't need a salesperson. All you need is an open mouth and to believe in what you have, and that's really what I've done. For my catering business, I don't even have a website. I have Instagram. So all of that's come through Instagram, word of mouth, and I do a lot of jobs with the city of Atlanta, Fulton County, television networks, and it's all been doing a great job, opening my mouth, and really just advertising via forms of social media. So there's always a way out, and I believe in this. If you don't give up, you'll never get a chance to see, what's on the other side, and the other side of failure is success. So
what's the state of Southern culture now?
Oh, man, I'm so excited about everything that's going on with Southern culture. So we're still working on more grocery store deals. Recently went up to Target in February for Black History Month. Congratulations. That was really huge. Thank you. Yeah, so in talks with them with relaunching the product there. Went up to Bentonville to Walmart headquarters. And all of these have just been phone calls that have just been kind of coming in at this point. So now the business really kind of runs itself. Mm-hmm. I'm expanding the brand to restaurants. So just signed a lease for my first restaurant in my hometown. I'm super excited about that. That's like a long time coming. Yeah. Even before the products is something that I wanted to do. To have a restaurant. Mm-hmm. I'm expanding catering. That's really grown. We've done a lot of, this year has been like my biggest year for catering. I've got a lot of television deals. Atlanta's a hub now for TV shows and movies and things of that nature, and they're always looking for great caterers. So my business has expanded, even with catering. Launching a YouTube channel and some more lifestyle things. Yeah, it goes back to that social media. Social media is huge. Yeah. So I'm spending a lot more time with really relaunching a lot of things in Southern culture, and focusing on making it a lifestyle brand. So super, super excited about everything that's going on. And then I'm also in real estate now. So me and my husband, we launched a real estate company. So we do vacation rentals.
You got a lot of stuff
I
going on.
have a lot of things. And we flip houses. So it's all hospitality in my mind. That's how I justify it.
Well, thank you so much, Erica, for sharing with us your small business success story.
Thank you.
Everyone out there, please take a look at the yumminess on southernculturefoods.com and follow them across social media on @southernculturefoods. Check out the podcast channel on blackenterprise.com to find Sisters Inc. and other podcasts from Black Enterprise editors, writers, and experts. Be sure to subscribe to Sisters Inc. on iTunes, SoundCloud, or YouTube. And if you like what you hear, show your love by leaving us a 5-star review and put a sister on by spreading the word. This is Alisa Gumbs with Sisters Inc. for Black Enterprise. Thank you for listening.